Alright, so welcome back to another YouTube video. In this YouTube video, we're actually going to be discussing how exactly a B2B SaaS company can take that cold prospect and actually convert into the closed, finalized deals. And this strategy works perfectly for B2B SaaS companies who are basically looking forward to improve the quality of their demo calls, right? And that is only possible if you're targeting the financially qualified prospects and making sure your SDR team or closers can actually understand their problems and can eventually close such deals, right? So first of all, for a quick reference, my name is Moise Khurram and I'm the CEO and founder of Leadamax. We're a B2B SaaS focused agency who's solely focused on helping B2B SaaS companies getting more deals into their pipeline. How do we do that and how do we normally operate? We first of all set out those campaigns and target financially qualified ICP. That is only done by building such a lead list that is super relevant to your niche and targeted to your ICP. And we make sure the persons we're actually targeting, the job titles we're targeting, are the decision makers. Once we've done that, we get those replies. If they're interested, we get those replies. We book them in for demo calls. If they're not interested, if they're not in their office, all we do is we simply add them into lead nurturing pipeline, and time by time, within probably weeks, they actually get nurtured, and eventually they get interested. We provide them more value. They have got our trust. They've got credibility and reliability. That being said, we eventually push them into basically demo call, and we make sure your SDR team actually close those deals. And how do we do that? We even train your SDR team on how exactly, and basically train them how exactly they can close those deals effectively and efficiently, right? So without further ado, let's begin. So this is going to be perfect for B2B SaaS companies, as I mentioned before, and this is perfect for cold email campaigns and eventually turn them into the closed deals, right? So first of all, why our approach and why our tailored strategies work the best, right? So here's a quick snapshot of the results we've gotten so far. So these are a couple of campaigns we've sent out for our clients. You can clearly see 2 lakh and somewhere about that, 200,000 and so on and so forth, right? Nowadays, we don't track open rates anymore, but just to be on a safer side. So open rate is basically like an HTML that is embedded into an email, and that is a transparent image, right? So these are some of the companies and organizations we've actually booked demo calls for our clients, right? And you can clearly see, right? So the live examples are such that we have actually bleeped out the names and job titles for the privacy purposes. So we booked one of the demo call with Walmart, Nike, Liberty Mutual, Motorola, Humana, HP, and so on and so forth. Zendesk, the list goes on and on, right? It's all possible because of our targeted approach, and we make sure the people we're targeting are financially qualified, right? That being said, without wasting our time, let's get started. So for quick reference, conducting impactful demo calls is basically a backbone of closing deals in B2B SaaS, right? Yet many companies actually struggle with low engagement, missed opportunities, and lack of follow through. This playbook will actually outline the exact steps to transform your demo calls from generic to game changing. Whether you're just seasoned SDR or just starting out towards your B2B SaaS, this guide will basically provide you a proven framework to ensure every demo leaves a lasting impression, right? These are some of the common demo call mistakes that you should always avoid. So first of all, generic presentations. Really big problem out there. Most of people believe that it's alright, but it's not. So first of all, the issue is such that you're actually focusing on irrelevant features that don't address the prospect's need. And the fix for that would be tailor the demo based on pre-call research and their specific pain points, the one which you have actually discussed in the emails, in the reply emails while booking them into demo calls. Second point, over talking. So the issue is such that you're dominating the conversation and you're not leaving any room for engagement, right? So fix for that would be you should only aim to talk only, probably I would say 50% to 70% of that time, and let the prospect contribute rather than just bragging about your features, just simply talking about your features, talk about their problem, And based on that, you should talk on how exactly your product, your solution actually solves your problem. Thirdly, no clear next steps. The issue is such that you're ending the call without a plan of action, right? And similarly, when you're actually replying to them and booking them in for a demo call, the reason you do not get better show rates is all because you do not mention what the call will be all about and how exactly the call can basically kind of solve their problem and not exactly brag about their features, right? Because prospects, they will never ever spend their precious 30 to 60 minutes on such a call that is more salesy and that is more about your product, your B2B SaaS, rather than just actually solving their problem. So a fix for that would be always purpose and agree on the next step before ending the call. You can, for example, let's say I'll send you over the agreement, right? Instead of just sending it, right, without telling the prospect, you should confirm it like 2 to 3 times, and based on that, it'll create a psychological effect in their mind. Oh, this person will actually send me the agreement on this time, right? So, a pre-demo preparation checklist. First of all, you want to research the company. You want to understand the industry, challenges, and competitors. This is all done when you're actually making the ICP and the lead list, right? Based on that, you want to understand their problems and their challenges and their industry time by time, right? Then you want to use LinkedIn, you want to use company website and industry reports for insights. A really cool feature, I would say, you can use Clay for it. You can simply take that list, import into Clay, and just get snippets and just ask Clayagent to take a web research, and based on that, just give snippets about website, about their exact profile, and any person who's actually booked, just take that snippets and enter into the Slack channel, and it can all be automated. I made a couple of videos on that as well. You can simply check it out and you'll be able to automate this process as well. Secondly, you should always identify the prospect's role. Are they decision maker, influencer, or gatekeeper? It's really easy to know. All you have to do is just focus on their words. Focus on the specific words they're actually saying, right? Really important. And thirdly, for example, the whole structure would be something like that. The introduction about yourself, about your company, should be only 2 minutes, right? Then you want to understand their problems. You want to understand the needs, right? Based on that, once you've actually understood their problems, their needs, then you want to present the solution and kind of focus only on that solution that actually solves the problem. For example, let's take an example, right? I want to use Lemlist. I hop on a demo call with Lemlist. They've got multi-channel approach, but I'm only interested in their specific LinkedIn automated approach, right? I jump on a call. They give me an introduction of like 2 to 10 minutes, right? And then they don't understand my problems, my needs, and just hop on a generic demo call and just keep bragging about their email feature, though I actually wanted the Lemlist LinkedIn automation feature. So that's the whole point. You want to understand the needs. Based on that, you want to present your solution, right? So you can tool something like that. CRM tools, you can use HubSpot, Salesforce, there are a bunch of tools out there, I would say. And just to get their background information, you can use Clay as well to get the snippets and do some web research about them. And you can also use note-taking apps like Notion, Evernote, and just to document the key points, right? Then, starting the demo calls strong. So here's a quick opening script I've actually made for you guys. And this is exactly how we train our clients' SDR team on how exactly they can close those deals effectively. So first of all, you want to greet warmly, right? So you can say something like that. Hi, prospect name. Thank you for joining. How's your day going on so far? That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. Don't ask about weather and stuff like that. It's useless, right? Then you want to set the tone, right? So you want to ask something like, before we dive in, is there anything specific you'd like to discuss today? This basically gets you the point of why exactly they joined the call. And based on that, you can further set the tone towards understanding the problems. Then you want to share the agenda. That is only possible. You want to ask something like, here's what I've planned for our session. You want to basically discuss the details. Does that sound good to you? That's it. And a pro tip for that would be a personalized start, basically builds rapport and shows respect for their time. You don't want a 60 minutes demo call. No, that's useless, right? If they want something like that, you can have your tutorials mentioned on the website, such like Lay. They've got their own university built up, and their demo call is like really short period of time, like 15 to 20 minutes. That's it. If they really want to learn Clay, all they have to do is just go into the Clay University and just open it and kind of go through the tutorials, right? Then delivering a tailored demo. First of all, you want to focus on the pain points as mentioned previously. Highlight on how exactly your solution addresses the specific pain points and challenges. So for a quick example for that would be, you mentioned struggling with lead generation. Here's how our platform can increase your qualified leads by 30%. Then you want to ask engaging questions, right? How does this compare to your current solution, right? How does this CRM perform better than your current solution? Would this feature make your team's process easier? This actually builds kind of a hit mark in their mind that, oh yes, this feature can actually solve it. Then you want to incorporate real stories. You want to share relatable case studies or client success stories. A really good useful example would be, for example, the prospect is basically in terms of, for example, health tech, right? You want to add a case study if you have any. Don't lie. If you have any case study in terms of health tech, you want to mention the company name. A company similar to yours in industry saw a 2x increase in efficiency within 3 months of using our platform. Right? Some key points, you want to keep it interactive. You want to pause frequently to gauge interactions and kind of ask for feedback, right? You want to avoid jargon. Keep the conversation as humanly and as accessible, right? So after every feature you discuss, you want to ask questions. Is this clear? Does that sound good? Right? Or does this solution actually solve your problem, XYZ problem? That's it. Right? All right. So how exactly are you going to close the call effectively? First of all, you want to recap the key takeaways, right? You want to summarize the discussion. Here's how we can help you achieve specific goal. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. Then you want to ask closing questions. How do you see this fitting into your current processes, right? Then you want to define the next steps. For example, how would you be open to a follow-up next week to discuss implementation? Or how does, and then you want to ask the time. You don't want to send the calendar link. No, never. You don't want to, you basically want to reduce the friction as much as you possibly can. How does specific daytime work for you? And a pro tip I always like to give to my clients, SDR team, always send a follow-up email summarizing the discussion and confirming the next steps within 24 hours. There's a bunch of tools out there, Fathom and something like that. You can use it. All right, I'll just search it out for you, right? Just use the tool. It'll basically come as a note taker. It'll record the whole call. And based on that, at the end of the call, it'll send an automatic email out to them. And that will be completely automated and basically kind of discuss how exactly the call went, what were the key note taking points, and kind of build the report as well, right? All right, so bonus tips for success. First of all, of course, you want to record your demo calls only because you want to re-implement that into your system. So for instance, you believe you could use a specific word a bit better, a bit more better vocabulary. You can use that. Just watch your demos again and again. And based on that, you want to review your performance and kind of iterate that. Then you want to master the art of storytelling. You should always frame your product's value in a way that actually resonates emotionally and practically. One thing I'd always like to mention is that people buy with emotion and they justify with logic. That's it. If your product actually solves a problem, if your product has good case studies built out, then your product has the capability to reach out to your prospects and actually solve their problem, because there's only a solution if there's a problem. That's pretty much it. Then you want to stay positive. If the prospect pushes back, treat objections as opportunities to clarify and build trust. I personally believe objections and objection handling is just a part of game, and this these are some of the questions which you have not covered in the demo call. That's it. Objections do not exist. They only exist if you haven't actually solved a particular question, if you haven't targeted a particular question or the particular problem. That's it. Right. That being said, here's what I would say, right? So demo calls, they don't have to be intimidating or they don't have to be robotic. With the right preparation, engagement, and follow-up, you can simply turn every call into a stepping stone towards closing the deal. And if you're looking for more personalized tips or want to train their SDRs and basically get 130 plus financially qualified demo calls for a B2B SaaS company, let's connect and become successful and have successful demo calls that eventually lead to successful partnerships, right? You can either email me at moise@leadamax.com or you can book a free strategy session with me. In that session, we'll discuss what's your product like, what are the problems you're facing, and how exactly we can drive a perfect solution to overcome your outreach challenges. And lastly, feel free to reach out because you're one decision away from your 2025 goals. That's pretty much it. All you have to do is simply go into the description and there will be a link for my calendar. You can simply book a 15-minute session with me and we'll simply discuss these details. Until then, stay tuned for the next video and peace.